Welcome back, and we are back now with Great Day Books, and today we're talking about titles that have been blacklisted.
Yes, Lori Fazio from RJ Julia Booksellers is here with some banned books for us to talk about. And you said last week was the banned book week, but you want the conversation to continue.
Yeah, we think it's important for the conversation to continue. I think one of the things that's probably shocking is that people assume in Connecticut, oh, it doesn't happen here, it happens elsewhere. It is happening here, and we were among the top states of either challenging or banning books in the last year, and we're one of the 17 that have challenged over 100 titles last year.
That is remarkable.
Last year alone?
Last year alone.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we find that, you know, some of the books people also don't realize that they're banned or challenged, and they could be either or both. And we just want to keep the conversation going because as Americans, we have a right to make our own decisions.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I might not want to read a book or might not want my child to read a book, but I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't read. And, you know, and that goes for all kinds of books. So
let's start with, can we start with the cat? Oh, and Tango Makes Three.
Yeah.
That's
so this is a picture book that is a true story. It's about two penguins in, I forget which zoo. I think it was the Central Park Zoo, so right in New York. They saw some of their other penguins. They're two male penguins.
Two male penguins.
And they loved being around each other, and some people say they were in love. Who the heck knows? They're penguins. They wanted, you know, they put all the rocks around, the pebbles like penguins do. And so one of the you know, zookeepers said, well, we're going to give them an egg, and they hatched it and they raised it. This was challenged and banned more than probably 15 times because they don't think it's appropriate for kids to read. And so it's, you know, it was challenged, let's see, for same-sex, you know, relationships because it's two male penguins, age appropriateness, religious views, controversial views, and they think that if it is a book, it should be placed in a section in any store that is for non-normal or other kinds of families. Like that, a specific section for that.
When you say these books are being challenged, what is the process and who exactly is doing this?
So each state has its own ways of doing it, and it could be any number of things. Sometimes it could be only one person that challenges. We ran into an event several months ago with an author, Chad Sells, down in Fairfield, and one or two people stated that we're not comfortable having this author come. The schools had already booked the author, and so it got, you know, the event got taken away. Well, the library down there said, we'll host the event, and tons of people came out in support of the book. Had nothing to do with anything controversial, and so you know, one person sometimes can ban it. So there's new rules going in that they might have to do.
We only have about 2.5 minutes, Lori.
So let's just talk about some of the classics. So Catcher in the Rye, do you remember reading that?
I remember. It's one of my favorite books.
So this is banned for language, for the audience. Now, this is meant for high schoolers, so negative content, some moral issues, there's a little bit of violence. I don't know, have you turned on a TV these days?
Seriously.
This is Perks of Being a Wallflower. I know this is one of Caitlin's favorite books. This was banned or challenged, sexually explicit, LGBTQIA plus content, mention of drugs and profanity.
Oh,
You're Caitlin.
Caitlin Amato.
Yeah.
Our producer.
So, To Kill a Mockingbird, A Court of Thorn and Roses, Sarah J. Maas, who has thousands of followers. Her books are challenged because there's violence and gore and death, some misogyny, slavery. Again, have we turned on a television lately?
Exactly.
So we also have some fun merchandise, which I just think is really great. You know, this is Freedom with R-E-A-D in the middle. There's also, this is a mug that also goes into, you know, Les Mis, Lolita, Animal Farm, Satanic Verses, Tropic of Cancer. And again, I'm not saying that everyone has to read these books, you know, but
you should have an
you should have the option to read it. And so one of the things, well, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can vote. You can support, you know, places that, you know, support readers and writers. But really what I think the best thing to do is read the book yourself. Make the decision for yourself or your family, your children. Whatever book it is, if your kid wants to read it and you want to read it first, do that and make your own decision.
Right. We need to educate ourselves.
That's right.
And we need to also know what our kids are being exposed to in reading. So that's the first step, right, Lori? Is to read it yourself.
Read it yourself. But a lot of these books, again, are this is the picture book, but a lot of these books are they're in the high school. Most high schoolers these days have phones. They have access to anything and everything. They're not going to be turned into something or not turned into something from reading a book. So it's just, read it yourself. Get to know what it is.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Good to see you.
You too.